Welcome. Liverpool 12th Man Show is here, and we are going to be doing a center live and direct center stage here. We're going to be doing a little bit of a show that's going to talk about some of the things that have gone down. It seems like just every time I want to get into doing the fun shows, these are fun shows too, but when I want to get into these shows where we can talk a little bit more about, player of the season or players of team of the season type stuff. I see that Lady B in the house. Big up Lady B. Big up the Bonkers as well. Yeah, I think right now the news just keeps hitting. Whether it's for Liverpool news, which is certainly something that we're going to hear all the talk about, but also we got some other news around the world too. Other news around with the whole situation with the league and other players and the likes. So, we are going to start this off right and say hello to everyone that's joining in. Big up to Lee. That is Bernie. That is Bernie. Yes, it is. Big up to Abdul. Big up to Bonkers, like I said earlier, and big up to Lady B in the house. Big up. And those that are joining us and just getting situated on the 12th man yacht. It's a fun. It's always a good yacht party to be a part of. So hopefully you're joining us and you are ready for some entertainment. Let's just get into this. We spoke on this yesterday. We should have some people on the panel joining us shortly, but for now it's just you and I. And I was going to say, we spoke on this yesterday. I brought it up with the panel. It was about the number 10. And obviously the number 10 is something of an interesting predicament when it comes to who's going to be wearing it next year. Yeah, there you go, Abdul. Definitely. I'll park that thing in Monaco and get it tax-free. I like that idea. And what's very interesting about this is that Florian Wirtz has actually made a comment about the number 10, the issue of the number 10 kit. That's how close this deal is to be getting done, I think. No player is going to talk about what number he's going to be wearing with another club if he doesn't think that he's about to get it done and over the line. I could share with you the comment if you guys want to see. I know that in case some might be thinking that I'm just making up stuff, or I don't know. All right. Speaking out of turn. Big up, Lee.
Hiya. Sorry about the lack of avatar. I've got a new computer and I haven't sorted that out yet. But
we'll help you out with that later on for sure.
Sound.
I know that. Let me bring this up. Hope that you're well, by the way. Obviously.
Yeah, good mate. And you, yeah. Hope so too.
Okay, so we were talking about the kit thing yesterday. The number 10 kit, that was a big deal. Yes, I know. As soon as Brian gets here, Lady B, we'll make sure that he gets you the link to you, for sure. But what I was going to say is, we spoke about this yesterday, and we spoke about how should he wear the number 10 kit? We made sure we made Lady B, even she couldn't get on. We made her decide which side of the fence she had to be on. And it was a case where, what would circumstances be for us to see him get that number 10 kit? And I'm going to bring this up for you. So let me bring this up. He actually made a comment on his Instagram, actually. I believe it's Instagram, or maybe it's his Twitter, or this was on Twitter and it was on Instagram. I'm not sure the exact segment there. But let me I hit the wrong button. Share screen. All right, so this was what he said. I'll bring this full screen for everyone to see. So apparently Wirtz said, "Who says I want the 10? I respect players. Don't believe everything what's written or that's written or what's written, the same." Okay? This was on his apparent Instagram or Twitter. How do you feel about that? To see that, does that bring you a little bit more calm to think that not many players are going to be talking about the number 10 kit, and because it had gotten out there that apparently that was a demand that he was making, or he wanted the number 10 kit and he wanted that to be happening and the likes. And it's like, okay, okay.
It brings a bit of calm, doesn't it? As you say, like an extra bit of tranquility around my house since I heard that he made that comment. It's great news, isn't it? If that's really him, I mean, I can't see why anyone would pretend to be him. If that's him saying that, it does tend to suggest that he's going to be playing here before very long.
Yeah, I really was happy to see that. I see that Barry's saying it's a done deal. I haven't seen that just yet. I was just perusing through X and the internet to see what was the latest news, but it does. Lady B's right. Showing respect to our players and semi-confirming, that he's joining us is super dope. Abdul says Wirtz, he needs to earn it. Players need to earn our respect at Liverpool by winning and trophies. Certainly. I mean, most players, they don't just come in and get the numbers right off the bat. I guess you could say there was a unique situation with okay. I said there'd be a unique situation with I thought it'd be a unique situation with Dominic Szoboszlai. That's what I was about to say. Because he got the number 8 right, pretty much right from the gate, and that's a huge number in this club, obviously, considering who wore it before. And I don't mean Naby. So
yeah. I would propagate the notion that most players don't really give a shit what number they wear. Some do, some don't. But I would say the majority of them wouldn't really care. Maybe if it was a big deal to someone like Ronaldo and Messi, like their number was there, it was part of their thing, what number they wear. But this ain't the case with Florian Wirtz. And I really don't think he'll give a shit which number's on his back as long as he's playing for Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you the deal. Bayern Leverkusen rejected Liverpool's second bid for Florian Wirtz. That's obvious. That's right. Then there was another one, or the first deal. Then they rejected the second one as well. The latest offer was 130 million euros, or about 109 million that was rejected. But what's making waves isn't just the fee, it's the symbolism, the face of the new Arne Slot era is Wirtz, certainly. If we were to make that kind of an acquisition, Wirtz is being positioned as our commercial and footballizing, excuse me, that's a big word sometimes to get out there, footballizing poster boy. That's what he will be. I think that's really what they were selling. That's really what they were selling as a mainstay to Wirtz. Could Wirtz have been a dynamic and important player on Bayern Munich? Most likely, yes. He's a German-born player. I'm sure if JK joins us, he can speak more on that. But the importance of being German and being on the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club, pretty much, let's be honest, it's the biggest club in Germany. And being one of the focal points in that team would be huge. But it would also mean turning your back and betraying Leverkusen. It would also mean the fact of, we are as big, if not bigger club, let's be honest, all due respect to Bayern Munich. And the opportunity to be a poster boy of, like, when I say poster boy, meaning being the guy that gets the commercials, and and the guy that gets the front page of the flyers or whatever it is, that gets to be on all the PR presses and releases and such. But it is cool, though. I do think that what is really, really interesting is that because of this situation and because of this saga that we're in right now, you can tell it's really shaking up the league. You can tell it's really shaking up our rivals. Because look, you see the reactions that you're getting from Arsenal fans, United fans, even City fans. You see this reaction of trying to put some doubt into it, or trying to put trying to just make us all feel like, it's not a big deal. There's nothing to see here. Do you agree with that, Lee, or am I going too far with that?
No, not going too far. No, where you're coming from with that. I was saying before, I'm really pleased that he turned City down, because it does sort of signify a bit of a sea change in the power base in the Premier League, doesn't it? The fact that Pep Guardiola wanted them for so long. We know this. We know Pep Guardiola wanted them for ages and was really keen on getting them. So for him to turn them down and sign for us, that's one of the nicest things about it for me, is that he actually turned them down. He had a good look at them and thought, nah, that's not where my future lies.
Okay. Yeah. It's something. It's something that I love the fact that they're not only devastated, as Red Armchair supporters saying, but a lot of them are just now in this self mode of trying to protect the fact that our club is doing something that they wish we weren't, and that is refortifying our team and going moving forward with it and everything. But again, the number 10 jersey currently worn by Lexi McAllister, number he deliberately chose because of his Argentinian roots and Brighton days. But now, because of the journalists, I know that JK doesn't like or doesn't particularly rate this journalist, but the journalist Rettenberg says Wirtz wants that number, and the internet lit up. It lit up. We were talking about this yesterday, and it lit up. All I saw on my Twitter feed or X feed, or whatever you want to call it, and it was number 10. He wants the number 10. He wants the number 10. He wants the number 10. And I was like, oh, man, I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I think that's why he answered it on his Instagram, because like I said, he took the Instagram himself. He first put that's his first public nod to the Liverpool rumors. Clapped back. He said, "Who says I want the number 10?" Like I said before, that's bold. It's confident. It's calculated. It's these different things that you want to see from a player that understands the fact of, yes, you are an incredible talent, but McAllister's no slouch either. And that's our red. It goes a little bit. Do you think Abdul's statement is more of the situation in that he's going to have to earn the number 10 more so than just be given a number 10?
Yeah, I think it's something that may come to him in the future. But as for now, it's McAllister's shirt, and as the lad said, he's not looking for a number. He's just looking to arrive at the club. So it was a brilliant way to sort of we're not saying it's done yet, but it was a brilliant way to sort of move it all along, wasn't it, for him himself to say something like that online?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it for sure. And now it's like a matter of, okay, now that you said it, let's get it over the line. And I've been saying I'm hoping that he does something similar to this, where he's just like, look, figure it out, Leverkusen. We get that you want 150 million, but figure it out. Just make it happen, you know? If it means like you want, what is it? So I don't know what the equivalent, I think, was it 125 million is 150? Is it in pounds to euros?
I think it's about 130 euros is 150. Sorry, 130 million is about 150 euros.
Okay, so,
I think, million euros.
So if we're at 19, because I heard we were off like 16 million. I thought originally that's what someone said, but which would have been what, like 125. So, but let's just say it's 130 is a big difference. That's like 21 million off. But let's just say it's around 21 million. Call it 20 even. Then okay, fine. You want 109, 150? Well, then we'll keep it at 109 and we'll make 10 in incentives. Something, I guess everyone doesn't care about the number. I already put that thing in there. By the way, I think that he's personally going to take C, if you wanted my answer. It was his original number at Leverkusen when he first joined the team. I think that'd be kind of symbolic for him to kind of go back to the roots and on him joining a new team, taking his first number, and then progressing into that number 10 kit.
That'd be a good idea for him, yeah. That'd be a good one for him, wouldn't it? To take up the number that he started with at Leverkusen and do the same thing at his new club. Yeah, why not?
Why not, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. This player is going to be dynamic, people, for sure. For sure. I can show you what I mean by the dynamism that he brings. Bring this up. This is a Sky Sports rankings of this is Sky Sports rankings of dribbles completed. Florian Wirtz, 82 dribbles completed. You can see how much of a difference that is. And that's over some very, very good players. Very, very good players.
Yeah, he's got a lot of competition there.
Yeah, but Musiala's in that list. Olise's in that list. Some very good players. Olise had a great year this year too. It's going to be exciting to see what he brings to this team. Basically, is what I'm getting at. I'm really excited to see what he brings to this team. Oops, wrong button. But there is as everyone knows, there's the part about getting it over the line, which brings us to this next segment. This is the part of the dance where the music gets intense, or very tense at least. Leverkusen know they've got one of the most valuable assets in Europe, and they're not budging easily, which is making it very difficult and annoying. Their latest rejection of our 130 million euro bid was as calculated as it gets. They want 150. That's clean and easy. But because maybe they're looking at it as we already got the 29.5 million pounds, that is, for the Frimpong deal. But that's 29.5 million off the bat. That's like in the sense of, because of the release clause, they get all of that up front and direct. Big up, Mark A. Mark A, by the way, Mark A, if you can, hopefully you're still with us. Reach out to me on Twitter, or you can hit me up on my email. I need your email. I need your address so I can send you the prize for winning the league, the fantasy football league. Well done, by the way, Mark A. And I will be definitely, if you can, when you get a chance, just send it to. JK is gonna be doing that segment, so he'll explain everything about it. But just want to make sure I saw you in the chat. Big up to you. And by the way, big up to Brian. Is your audio okay?
I don't know. I'm having to use my phone.
Oh, okay.
Just my. There's just no sound coming from my laptop. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
I finished my stream with the guys, and something happened between finishing my stream and trying to go into your studio where there's no sound. The whole thing is muted. So.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. Easy enough. It's just Liverpool12th@gmail if you want to reach me through my email. Just drop a gmail.com on there, and you can reach me through my email. And the prize was an actual. It's actually going to be a pretty cool prize. Let me see if I can. Bring up the actual prize for you. But while I do that, Brian, we're just talking about what is going to be, going on with the fact that Leverkusen does have some leverage, obviously, but that leverage is kind of fleeting when you hear comments like today. I don't know if you heard the comment I made earlier about the Instagram post that Florian Wirtz put out there. Did you hear about that by chance?
Yeah, we were looking at it earlier, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, like I say, Kimmich last night, this tonight, there's not really much more you need to know, is there?
Yeah.
Without naming the name, without dropping it, other than saying I'm joining Liverpool, he can't really do much more.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's what's interesting too, by the way. It might be even, some might say it might be even a little bit more interesting, but I'd love to hear the panel's thoughts and the chat's thoughts too. While this negotiation is, the negotiation drama, if you want to put it that way, is playing out, Arne Slot still took a meeting with Lyon's Rayan Cherki. Due diligence? Is it a backup plan? How do you feel about that?
No, I think he was a bit of a personal touch to go there and meet the kid, and like I said earlier on, it's an incredibly difficult conversation to sit down with someone and go, we want to buy Florian Wirtz, and if we can get Florian Wirtz, we're going to buy him. But if we can't get him, we'd like to buy you. That's basically the conversation you're having with guys. So it's a difficult kind of awkward conversation. Probably, I don't know, but he's probably sitting down with him. I mean, he's made. You always hear players something like the guy took time out of his holiday to fly. What a life, eh? To fly to the south of France to meet this guy and have a chat with him. So if nothing else, he'll know that we're not like, Arne Slot text your agent. No, he flew to France to meet you. You can say to a player, look, you're not our first choice. If we got our first choice, I probably won't be speaking to you again. But so it's hard to know how those conversations go. Interesting to know how those conversations go. But it's much better. I mean, to have gone and done it in person shows that you're serious. Yeah, I think at that stage the work still wasn't quite so far along, but it just shows maybe that Slot was doing things in the right way, but maybe in 2 years' time, this might stand for something. Or he came and flew out to meet me. So yeah, it's just good. It shows you how highly we're probably rating this guy. But like I said, it is kind of very interesting. Like Sharky will know. He reads the papers like everybody else,
Yeah, he never knows what's going on. It's not,
Yeah. So it's a funny one. It's just I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that kind of. How do you, as a manager, phrase that to a kid? It's like you're not our number one choice, but I care enough about you and I rate you enough to take 2 days
Let's
out of my
do them.
holiday to fly here and meet you. So it's
yeah.
It's not some kind of phone call to the agent. It's a genuine thing. So yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting scenario.
How do you feel about it, Lee? Are you cool with him doing this? Or not even that. Not only how do you feel, but one step further. What does this say about maybe even the fact that Turkey was willing to take the meeting, despite the fact that he's got interest from Manchester City?
Yeah, that is interesting as well. It's just a safety net, isn't it? It's good that we've done that. Well, I presume it was just a safety net, and we're not buying both players. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I think that's all it was, isn't it? Like, as we had to, make sure we talk to other players just in case this fell through, because there aren't loads on the market. So it was probably the smartest thing to do, wasn't it, for him to go out there and meet with the guy? What do you think about the possibility of us buying both of them? Do you think there's any chance of that?
That's what I was going to ask. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
What if that conversation was, you're not our second choice, you're just another choice for us. You're an additional choice.
Yeah. I mean, I think that'd be pleasing to the players to just come here no matter what. It depends what Pep says to him, doesn't it? If Pep wants him. But I'm not sure Pep could offer him, like, you could say, oh, you guarantee the first team place. Because, he just wouldn't say that to him, was he? But he would say, like, I think you're a good player. I want to bring you to the Etihad. But it would be amusing if we swiped him as well as Wirtz from under their grasp. 2 players from out of their grasp would be hilarious. Not sure it'll happen, though.
Brian, how about Jared's question? Do you think we buy Cherki as a Diaz replacement? Or even do you think what we were just speaking on is a possibility that we just buy Cherki as a player, period, as a second player? Yeah,
there's definitely a world where we buy both. Yeah, I don't think he has the pace and work rate of some of our wider players. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the buying the boat thing makes more sense. Because why, as a slot, would you like that's the thing I'm saying. I was trying to say, like, that's an awful lot of effort to go to. And he's only going to cost, around 22, 25 million pound mark.
Yeah, in the 20 million range.
I don't think he's a winger like Diaz is. He's more of a number 10 that can play wide. But I would be, if you were telling me that you were bringing in Wirtz and Turkey and Diaz is leaving for 70 million and we're getting in the Turkey for 22 million and have, Gakpo over there.
That would be a taste. That would be a very tasty situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all to think that we could be after both. No, I don't. With the price, sorry, just to finish, especially with like Turkey isn't going to cost 80 million. It's going to cost peanuts, basically.
Right, comparatively speaking. And is that a release clause? Or that's the asking price? Yeah,
what they're saying is basic because you can't have release clauses in French football.
That's right. In France, you can't have release clauses, right? Yeah.
But you can have what they will call a gentleman's agreement, as people say, gentleman's agreements. It's not worth the paper; it's written on, I think. But it's more there'll be an agreement with the chairman. It's just that you can't make it a legal document, basically. But they'll have an agreement that if such and such club offers 25 million, now you are relying on people to keep their word, but it's a sort of an unwritten release clause but the guy also, I think, only has a year left. So
right.
But yeah, it is expected. Yeah, they're not all of a sudden going, oh, Liverpool and City want them. Oh, well, actually, now we want 60.
Yeah. it'd be a little bit of it might be a little bit of a shocker to see us get not only get 2 players of exceptional quality like that, but a shocker in the sense of 2 players that Manchester City have both gone in and said that's going to be their number 1 guy. And they would be coming up short on if we were to get that. That'd be a statement. It'd be a real statement. That's all I'm trying to get across.
I think I fixed my other issues. I'm just going to drop out here and I'll join back in on the other device. There,
okay.
So.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Brian will be joining us shortly here, but I thought that would be interesting. Realistically, what's the max you would pay for him, by the way? What's the max you'd pay for him, for Florian Wirtz?
130 million sterling is the max you'd pay for him.
Okay.
I wouldn't go beyond that.
I'm going to ask the panel. I'm going to create a...
I think that'll be more than enough. 135 million sterling converted into euros. It's a good fee.
I'm going to put an audience poll in here. 120. So currently at 120. What would be the asking price? Asking price, why not? Seems daft to argue over a handful of change. Lee is saying the market is messed up anyway. No one is worth their price tag. I can understand that too. Lady B says 140 million would be her line in the sand. I put that down as being options for you. We're currently at 109 million, which is 130 million. I put the
euros.
Yeah, I put the pounds in parentheses. But yeah, 130 million euros, 140 million, 150. You give them the 150 that what they're looking for, or do you say, you know what, if you're not going to take this money, we're going to walk away? Do you threaten it maybe?
Well, I'll give them that 150 million euros because that is, I think, something like 130 million sterling. And that's what I'd be prepared to go to. I wouldn't pay over 150 million euros, though. And I don't think they'll ask for over 150.
I'm trying to make sure I get all the polls in before Dara joins us and we start hearing the griping about the polls, the audience polls. What is there? Is one of those options something that you do, Brian?
Sorry, I was out at it.
I
was switching in and out. What was the question?
Yeah, what would be for the audience poll question I have on the screen? What would be your answer?
Oh, sorry, I'm just sending Lady B. Yeah, she's calling herself now.
Yeah,
the link there, Brian, if you want to come in with your newly appointed title and tell us how many castles you now own. Have been appointed as Lady B. What's the maximum she paid for Florian Wirtz from 31? 50.
Lee Wiskid said
no 130. Look, but like Lee said, he'd pay 150, but he wouldn't pay a penny over. If you're prepared to go to 150, you'd be prepared to go to 151, right? Why would you walk away for one? So but that becomes an error. I just think we knew the thing. I just think we need to get to there. I think they want 130 million, and just how you get it. They're happy with it's not like they want it all up front. They're happy with whatever way they get it. They just want to get it. We have to make it structured. We just need to be able to nip off that 6, 7, 8 million. So that instead of 130, it's 122. So we get to feel a little bit happy.
Right.
And they get to feel, everyone needs to feel like they've got a little bit of a deal. But you're going to end up giving them their money at the end of the day. They're going to get their money. It's just in a timely fashion, nice lump sum up front to put on their books. And then not over 4 years, over 2. Just make it nice and easy. Make everyone happy.
but it's going to be the same number at the end of the day.
Okay.
It's just how you get there. It's just how, and to me, that's 130.
So you're saying you'd settle for...
No, look, I'm fine with whatever they want from, because we know what the price is. We know, and I don't think it's like 180 million pounds. It's about
it could take away. It could take away your ability to get other deals, maybe.
No, I don't. That's the thing. I think we knew what we were going to end up paying for this guy, and we were happy to. We're just figuring how we give it to them. It's not whether we give it to them or not. It's just how we give it to them, and it's only due diligence to go and say, "Are you sure you wouldn't take 100?" You know, and they're like, "No, we're not messing around here. It's 130." And we're like, "Cool, we're super interested, but we couldn't turn your head at 120. We're not, no, we're not messing around." It's like, okay, we'll give you the 130, but how about we do it like this? And then you start the negotiation. Then you start figuring it out. But I think they're going to end up basically getting within a few million quid of what they said from the start.
Yeah.
Which I think it's that 130 million euro mark is what they're talking about.
127, 130.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So.
Oh, you mean euro mark? You mean like the actual?
Yeah, I think it's 109 million pounds is what it is.
Yeah, that was A. That's choice A. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just about how we get there. I think we're really have to find details stage now at this stage.
I mean, that's apparently what our second bid was 109 million. But again, I see Lee Wiskid said he just give him 150. Realism Jared said he'd do the 150 as well. Mark A said he would do the choice B of 140 million would be his max. Bonker says he'd do the 150, just get it done, I guess. Red Armchair Supporters said the same. A lot of people are going with choice C. Mark A is also saying use Elliott as a lightweight to reduce the fee. Have we gotten confirmation if that post was a real post, by the way?
No, that's not him. Sorry, Nalate. Me and you have to have words later, man. We really do.
Okay. Yeah, I just realized I just clocked by. Yeah. Okay. I saw that, and so apologies.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, though. I do have another segment lined up, but before we even get there, let me see if I can find. Give me 1 second. I'll bring it up here because there is something that is confirmed because you can actually see it in the actual picture. Yeah, so I'm not going to keep it for that one. Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull this up for you. Delante, by the way, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Yeah, Hugo 12th. Yeah, big up yourself, Hugo's in the chat as well. So yeah, all good.
Good. Trying to get to my. Just go to the actual thing. This one's worth the wait. This one is worth the wait because it might actually, it might bring a little bit of a little laugh, a little smile, a little chuckle, maybe.
We got a meme coming up.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Ding dong.
Posted 2:08 a.m. Give me 1 second. Let me go back and forth because it's a funny one. Do you guys want to discuss anything about Liverpool to reveal this awaited? Actually, you know what? I can show you this too. Let me show you this while we wait. This isn't what I was going to show you, but while we wait, I will show you this. This is actually kind of cool. This is going to be the new football
Oh, yeah.
for the league next year.
Yeah. We were asking earlier on 12th if Mikel Arteta has been consulted to find out whether it's acceptable to him.
Yeah.
We're waiting for
Yeah.
confirmation. We're waiting for confirmation to find out if it's a if it's Arsenal acceptable.
No, he personally picked the fabric it's made from. They're going to replace that lion's head with his head with a crown on it.
That's hilarious. All right, I have it. All right. So this is what I was talking about. Apparently, ex-Premier League referee David Coote.
Cootsy coot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cutesy.
Ding
He has been
dong.
seen delivering every parcels. I guess that's like you have to explain to me what every is out there. But he is currently
I'd
suspended.
never heard of it either, to be honest with you. It was my first time of hearing of every, so
Oh, Every's
Yeah.
like a courier company. They just deliver items. It's basically similar to Amazon in a sense, but they just deliver just another company that delivers items. That's all.
Like his shorts, nice legs.
oh,
Mate, this is hilarious. This is brilliant. Imagine if we come to you as well.
Well, lucky for him, Jurgen Klopp don't live in the country because he could have been knocking on his door.
Yeah. I wondered if
Lucky
he's
Klopp.
had any. Yeah, I wondered if he's had any white powder like before he got out the car, just to boost him like for knocking at someone's door.
How funny would that be? if he had a delivery for a player or a delivery for, I'm sure he doesn't deliver in the Liverpool area. I'm sure that's something.
No, I think I think they've kind of diverted him. Manchester, London, any
Yeah.
locations.
He just stays in the man.
Mr. Jurgen K. in Formby. Uh-oh.
You know what's in the parcel? Humble pie.
Humble pie.
Yeah.
Is right.
Yeah, the largest slice ever seen. So big it have to be boxed.
Oh man, when I saw that picture, I was like, oh, wow, man, you're making probably like 6 figures, just showing up, watching some of the best football you can see in the world. Now you're delivering parcels.
Well, the man's got to eat.
Man's got to eat. True that.
Not having them shorts, but he is dragging though. And
You just said he had lovely. 2 seconds ago, you said, I like those shorts. Nice legs.
well,
What happened?
I was being facetious, wasn't I?
Oh,
Hey,
right.
you
Well, you
can
didn't sound you sounded genuinely impressed. You need to change the tone of your voice when you're trying to be, because you sounded genuinely impressed there. You're like, nice legs.
No, it was a jest. It was a J.
He was comparing them to Tracy's legs.
Well, he's no Shaqiri, but I've seen worse calves.
Yeah. I've got like scarring on my ankle, shins, on my shins.
I'm not being funny,
Jelly.
Brian,
getting jelly.
calves. Shaqiri looked like he couldn't walk hardly with those calves.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, Jack Grealish is the same. But if you look at the worst I've ever seen there's a video of Roberto Carlos where he's working out and he looks his thigh muscle. He looks like there's some. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, it looks wrong basically.
Yeah. You think, how the hell are they going to be a good footballer with legs like that? You don't think there's going to be any speed or anything, but was it Klopp who said to him, "You've got to slim down or stop training so much" or something?
There are parts when you can do too much. Like, I think that kind of is what it's happened a little bit to Adama Traore.
Oh yeah.
He's gotten just bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's like there gets to a point where like it's going you affect you might be getting stronger, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting faster or more agile.
No, look at Mo Salah. Mo Salah doesn't have a pick on him. You know, he's probably one of the hardest, fittest, strongest players out there. But he's got he's not bulk or whatever they call it. He's not ripped. You know, he's toned completely, but he's got no extra kind of gym muscle on him. It's all what
Right.
he is like. I remember Mika Richards saying that before. Like he got big into it, like, and that was like 20 years ago. Richards was getting into it, and he was saying even then, because obviously he took to it very well. His body responded to it. You can see he bulks up really quickly, and he came back and he was saying the people at Villa were saying to me, "You genuinely need to stop doing that. You've gone way too far. Like your body, yeah, you're a footballer. You're not a weightlifter.
Right.
You're getting to the point now. Yeah, your body can't handle what you're doing to it." And he was saying he was getting addicted to it, like, you know, like they do, you know, just build up muscle. And they were saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're just putting on way too much muscle mass. You're not supposed to be like that. So yeah, you can, like, Mo's got that real lean kind of way of doing it. Like they say, if you watch him, he's influencing a lot of younger players now in the way they train, because he puts up a lot of his videos. He never lifts weights. It's all resistance training. He uses a lot of those resistance bands and things like that, builds up kind of core strength, but it doesn't put on a shitload of muscle that you don't basically need as a footballer. You know, the lighter you are and the stronger you are is kind of a thing, but he does, it's all like those bands and pulling things and resistance training is a lot of what he's doing. He's kind of seen as a bit of a pioneer for that, as it was. Like everyone else is just going to the gym. He was like saying, you don't need to do it like that. You just need to kind of keep lean and keep light, but have that strength.
Yeah.
I remember reading an article about Gerrard, and they'd said the reason he was so successful, you know, as a player, was because his upper body weight compared to his lower body weight, you know, was a lot lighter, you know. And well, I think they did a thing where, it's going to sound a bit pervy, but I think they did a thing where they measured his thighs, you know, and they said there was something about him being grounded, you know, just grounded because of his lower body weight, and it gave him the strength that when he sort of tried to score. Well, he did score, didn't he? But they were just saying it was just. Anyway, I'm whooshing on a bit, but do you know what I mean? It was all to do with relativity, almost like it was better to be stronger on the bottom than it was on the top for a footballer. Doesn't matter what I say, it's not going to sound right, is it? You know? But Red for Life's got it, low centre of gravity.
Yeah, Coutinho looks like a footballer. You don't need to go to the gym and lift weights to be a footballer.
Isak,
like someone just said there, Anthony Gordon doesn't
like,
do gym.
Yeah, Isak isn't exactly like overwhelming.
Yeah, he's a bony guy, right?
Right.
Mr. Bony guy.
Exactly.
But like Marcus, Anthony Gordon doesn't need to do gym or doesn't go to the gym. That's mad. That shouldn't be mad. Yeah, you need to be fit. You need to stay fit, but you don't need to. If Anthony Gordon has enough core strength and natural kind of fitness, he doesn't need to go and lift weights and, you know, do all that stuff.
Right. I
You
mean,
can be
he's only training to be a
boxer.
diver.
You're a footballer.
Yeah, he's not a boxer. He's a diver. So I mean, you know, it's different muscles. Oh, Gordon, I know. I'm gonna be eating crow if you end up being a red, but we'll see.
Well, I know what the chances are. If we get a 75 million pound bid for Diaz, I think we're going to drop 50 of that on Gordon. 60. It costs you just as much.
Yeah.
It costs you just as much as a Diaz would. They'd say, right, you got 75 for that. You got 75 for Diaz. You're going to give us that for Gordon. We're not even going to let you get away with €2 in the difference. You're going to give us every penny you got. I wouldn't do it. He'd be too expensive.
But let me allow for you guys to have Brian take over for a quick second. I have to handle something, but I'm going to ask this up and bring this up, and that is the Striker Watch. We're going to be doing a show possibly with Ozzy in a little bit, but like doing this, I'm calling it a Striker Watch. I'm going to be doing a striker specific show. I know we spoke on it yesterday. I know Baz wanted to bring up some topics or bring up some players that he wanted to discuss, but we're going to bring a more specific, we're going to get a breakdown of all the strikers that we're linked to, or possible strikers that we could be engaging in. And if we want to talk, obviously that's the firepower for offense, and that's the striker spot. I know not everyone's happy with our output for the striker role this year. So Liverpool's name is back in the mix for Hugo Ekitike. He's a striker whose numbers with Frankfurt last season turned a lot of people's heads. And he's been, compared to an Isak, actually. It's, 15 goals in 33 Bundesliga matches. Now Chelsea is leading that race, apparently. And the reason why Chelsea's leading that race is because apparently Frankfurt won 100 million euros. Their logic is simple. If Kolo Muani fetched 95 million euros, Ekitike, who's seen as a better player, is worth just as much. There are some journalists that have said some different things about how he might be the best striker available behind Alexander Isak, who I don't think is available, to be honest with you. But what does this mean for some of our beloved Darwin Núñez? The Uruguayan has struggled for consistency and is drawing interest from Saudi clubs. We all know that. And even maybe Atletico Madrid. But if Núñez leaves, it definitely brings a need for you to bring in a player that is going to be sufficient in that role. That could be the next man up. I will throw a plot twist into this mix, and that is a player that I would like to see us get, Julian Alvarez. Reports said he might leave Atletico Madrid. Let me repeat that. There are reports that have said that he might be leaving Atletico Madrid. But now, apparently he's staying. So that might be a dream off the table, dream signing off the table. I know the Atletico Madrid president apparently is said that he's not interested in making a deal for the forward. But not money talks. So I mean, he might be saying that might be just all conjecture. But Arsenal are eyeing Gorkes and maybe even Sesko, the either one or the other. We're looking at striker arms race again, apparently you could call it. Would Hugo Ekitike be an upgrade, or is he a gamble? I'm going to ask that to the panel. I'm going to go. Okay. I'm going to ask that to the panel.
No, you can go. Is Ekitike?
Thank you.
Is he a gamble? Is he an £85 million sure shot? What do you think, Mr. Ekitike?
Tic Tac, Mr. Tic Tac, Ekitike, aka Tic Tac, Tic Tac, Pennywhack, give a dog a bone. Look, don't get me wrong. He's a good striker and he's improved this season. But again, it's a risk. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's a risk. Him, Osimhen, all these players are good strikers. Don't get me wrong, but the risk. We need the final product, and so it doesn't interest me. If I'm honest, if Chelsea want to buy him, they buy him. To be fair, I think in this precise moment, who we want, we can't get. The two strikers we can't get for different reasons, and there's someone else who Brian knows we're both fans of him. Unfortunately, he didn't have a great game last weekend. But what I'll do is, if we can get any of those main strikers for me for one season. It's not what ideal, but I'll do it if you guaranteed me the three strikers, the two strikers that have been mentioned, and the other one that Brian knows, me and them both rate, who, last weekend just didn't have these best of games. If you could get me under those three, they can say I'm coming to Liverpool the following season, then I would take one season playing the false nine. That's the way I see it. I'll just do that rather than get any of the other strikers. I just can't. I'm just not 100% on them. And as a club where we've been, we can't afford that. To if or not they get the goals or not. So yeah, that's just me.
One £85 million gamble to another, basically, is the way I see it. Incredibly talented, but massively raw still. Big move to, like, it's not about his talent. Like, he could be all this, right? And then he gets a move to a Liverpool for 85 million quid, or 80 million quid. And he comes here, and all of that price tag, expectation, pressure, big club. We need to go back to back. We ain't just here to do nothing. We've got, all of a sudden, can you handle that? Because that's the stuff that isn't in your boots. It's not in your, you can't statistically look at that. That's about the person, the human.
Yeah.
Can they come here and deal with all of that pressure? Because you're not just going to be some, it's not like, Florian Wirtz will take a lot of the headlines away, and they picked up some talented young French striker from Germany. What, for 20 million quid? No, 80 million quid. Okay. Big money. Big money. Big spotlight, the whole lot. Can he handle that? That will have nothing to do with how good he is at football. So at that price, with that risk, the fact he isn't a finished article by a long way, I think he's a huge gamble. Really is. It would just potentially be another Núñez in terms of
His
but what's
age.
the opposite? Yeah, what's the opposite? Go out and buy Dr. Proven striker? Well, who's he? Because he doesn't exist either. Unless you want us to go and spend 50 million quid to bring Harry Kane. That's not the future. We're not going to do that. So then what we talk about? Sesko's, Gyökeres's. Like, I'm with you, Nolante. I just think playing a slightly longer game on it. Make do with Salah on the right. Wirtz, Dom, maybe as false nines. I don't know about that, even as I'm saying it, but and a Gakpo and a thing, and then you get to next year, and Isak has 1 year left on his contract. Because you're not going to get him now for 150. If he decides he doesn't want to stay in Newcastle, this striker market is so tiny now, especially Sesko goes to Arsenal. Who are we out there getting? Cunha's gone. I'd almost, if we could kind of hold back, but can we hold back, Lee, and next season say, it's cool, we're waiting we're waiting until next year to get a striker. It's like, no, why do we go and buy Wirtz? We need to go back to back. We should have got a striker. Like, but if they're not out there, who are we going for? Isak's off the table. Alvarez off the table. They have to be money-wise. They have to. There's no way we're buying Alvarez. No chance.
Yeah, if I'm honest, for the money they want for Ekitike, he's a bit young for me. I would prefer a striker maybe a few more senior years than his, with a bit more experience behind him. That's if we do buy a striker. I think I would prefer a striker probably maybe 25, 26, 27, something like that, but not a 21-year-old.
Go ahead, Barney. Brian's on mute. You're on mute, Barney.
He is 21, by the way, isn't he, Ekitike? 21-year-old, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
22.
22, yeah. So he's not,
Well, Núñez was 22 when we bought him, wasn't he? Núñez was that young, actually, when we bought him.
Yeah, Brian, how about someone like Ollie Watkins, or we mentioned Jared Bowen before? If you're talking about getting somebody a bit more proven, then than Ekitike.
Oh, you lost me at Ollie Watkins.
He's got good figures.
No, Bernie, no.
That is a name. No, to Lady B's defense, that is a name that has been circulating on X or Twitter as being as a possible.
That's just a name, if I'm honest. That's just
rather
names
than,
floating around. That's all it is.
I'd rather have took a punt on Delap than buy Watkins.
Oh no, none of them. No.
I'm saying like I don't.
Oh
want
yeah. I see what you
like
mean.
Watkins, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get you.
We're
Yeah.
talking about an English-born player, you know, someone that had a decent year.
No.
Just trying to think around the Prem, who's in the Prem instead of thinking abroad, but there aren't a lot, are there?
There's no one apart from Isak and Haaland. There's no one. Those are the two clear. Number nine, there's no one. It's the thing, and this is the problem we have. That's the thing. Me and Brian discussed the striker market. They are good strikers, but not one you could say, yeah. They're all risks, all of them. And can we afford to do risks like 12? I know you were busy.
No, by the way, Mark A, no on that. Let me bring this question.
Well,
I cannot. Mateta is not the guy for me, by the way.
Ollie Watkins, 23-24, 37 matches, 19 goals, 13 assists. 24-25, 38 matches, 16 goals, 8 assists.
I like Ollie. He's at a certain level, though, like for me, and that's not the Liverpool level. I think he's doing good for Villa, but I couldn't see
exactly
him.
Now in the head.
Who would you suggest instead, then?
Ramos. I'll still go with Ramos. Gonzalo Ramos from PSG. Now that Cunha's spoken for.
There's not many out there. And it's a risk. It is a risk on a lot of different players. Either you're going with a project player, basically, or you're going with a player that you know is certified for sure, and that would be Harry Kane.
He's the only one.
I think I don't mind doing Harry Kane. Excuse me. I don't mind bringing back Harry Kane. Make sure I say that correctly. The reason why I say that is because he is a proven player. I know that he is in his 30s, but still he's got obviously some games still left in him. Big up Max, by the way. Big up Harambe. Big up Dustin. I think that there is some game left, and he'd have really an incentive to really be a part of not only scoring, but like he'd have an incentive to be a part of a club that could possibly bring him a real, honest, potential title in England. That would absolutely vindicate a lot of the question marks about his legacy, I think. Do you think different? I'll ask. I know Brian's not sold on Kane. He doesn't want us to start a senior citizen club or something like that.
It's not Cocoon over here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one for the kids, but if you got Cocoon, you're old.
Yeah, you probably are. The striker market is very risky. I keep emphasizing.
No mention of K-Max boy. Mr. First signing of the window, Victor Oshimoshi, man.
I don't know why people aren't. It's not that I don't think that we will go for a striker or that we don't need a striker per se, but I just don't understand. I just emphasize the fact that we get the majority of our offense is gained from our wingers. So as long as we continue to, emphasize bringing in fantastic wingers, and if anything, bringing in a more certified number 10, maybe we might create something of a more output on our wingers, and possibly get a little bit more of an increase in our production out of the 10 role, which could, suffice the need for a outright 20, if not 30 goal scoring number 9.
No, I'm looking at 20 from Gakpo, is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a.
Oh, okay. So
Bobby
I asked that question
Firmino.
yesterday. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what
see
I'm looking at is a Wirtz playing with Gakpo with Carquez and Wirtz in his area of the pitch.
Mhm.
Up his goals by 10, and then like we're saying with Nalante there, I think there's a world where, because everyone's starting to point out the striker market is absolute shite right now. So maybe we go with Wirtz in the false 9, Firmino type role, Gakpo off the left, Salah off the right, and then whoever comes in after that. And then in a year's time, we reassess the striker market with Isak with 1 year left on his deal at Newcastle. Very different price then. Very different price then.
Do we bring Rio in?
But do we even forget? I mean, Rio might, but I just mean in terms of playing through the middle, we could get. I don't know. I still think even if we'd have to end up keeping a Jota then for that to work, and we'd still be left. It's not like we could go the whole season with Wirtz as our false 9. Who's going to play if Wirtz needs 2 weeks off? It's still leaving us a bit light, but yeah, like our goals will come mainly from your 2 wide forwards, your Salah and your Gakpo, or your Salah and another left-sided player. And that
We might be
guy through
able.
the middle. I'd love to be able to do both now, though, because if we did both now, it'd just be incredible. If we could bring in Wirtz and that Isak that we might want to bring in next year, as in top number 1 priority, not number 9, not striker, goal scorer, but centre forward dude. That would be amazing. But I just don't because people keep pointing it out. Where is the market? What's the market now? Gyökeres? People say it doesn't fit the style. I agree. Osimhen doesn't fit the style. Cunha gone. Ekitike, 84 million quid, raw. Like, who is it? Who is this guy that we're all missing that's out there that we could bring in? I don't see them. I don't see this player. There is no obvious answer for that guy. It's like, could we buy something and get away with it and then wait till next season, and then it's like, now we can get Isak or now we can get Alvarez. So we waited a year. I don't know.
Tyler Dibbling, maybe. I'm said it myself. I think that the number 9 market isn't as big of a emphasis on our transfer committee. I think there's a bigger emphasis, for me at least, I would say, in solidifying what we're going to do with our center half, meaning get the deal signed with Konate, figure out if Kwanzaa is going to be our future or not. What we're going to do with Gomez. I mean, losing Gomez, potentially Gomez, losing if you do get rid of Kwanzaa on a deal, and then also, if not, maybe even have to put Konate on the market if he doesn't want to sign the deal for an extension. That brings us in a real flux of concern for our defense, and that's a major issue. That's a major spinal point of our team. I think there's a little bit less. This is my perspective, at least. I just think that the bigger emphasis should be played on. We've gotten our fullbacks pretty much. We can pretty much assure that Kirk is going to be worked out one way or another. We've gotten our fullbacks taken care of. Yet, okay, yes, I get that. It hasn't done yet, but pretty much close enough. And that's me saying it, not anyone on the panel. I get it, but you got to worry about the inside back line, because that's the most important part to our defense. That's the heart of defense, that's the center halves. I'd like to have some more assurance. Tell me, would you rather us go for a if we could emphasize our remaining transfer budget, okay, so let's say we're going to have, I don't know, 80 million, okay? If we had 80 million, we can put that towards a center half or put 80 million towards a striker. Which are you doing? I'll ask Lee, Brian, Lady B, and then Alante.
Choice between a striker and what did you say? Sorry, it's striker, centre half. Did you say a choice between that?
Yep, those are the choices.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go for the striker.
Striker. All right.
Yeah. We
Brian.
need it. We need it, mate. We need a striker. We could possibly do without. Maybe Arnie's like thinking of something and how we could use Wirtz, like, and play, like a slightly different formation. But anyway, I think we do need a centre forward because we can't just, like Brian was saying, what if Wirtz gets injured? What if Jota's unfit as he usually bloody is? Then we'd be sunk, then, wouldn't we? We'd be up shit creek without a paddle if that happened. So I think we do need a striker.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, a striker or a centre half, is that the question?
Mm-hmm. 80 million on left in the budget. And you can that means you can go out. So that means you can go out and get a top quality striker, or you can get a top quality center half.
Yeah, up top. Like saying it, talking about, like, I was going to say, if someone said to you, look, you can have Wirtz and Isak, or you can have Wirtz and then Ekitike, but you can have Wirtz and Ekitike this year, or Wirtz, but then you have to wait a season for Isak. I would wait a season for Isak because that's how important it is. That could be such like the final piece for me. So if he said we can go out and get it, yeah, that would make a big difference. We can get through with what we have: Gomez, Kwanzaa, VVD, Ibu, and assuming none of those leave. But yeah, that's it. That's what I would do this season. Yeah.
Okay.
Very close though. Very, very close.
Alante?
Yeah, I think I saw Max about saying about Jota, no, was it Núñez, Diaz, and Chiesa leaving? It could be one out of the three, two of the three. I don't. Diaz is not guaranteed.
If you're going to question me on Kirkes, you can't put question marks on the incomings, the certified quote unquote incomings. If you're going to say players that haven't left the team yet, they're still with the team.
No, I'm responding to Max. I'm saying that he's put the leaving. I'm just saying there's not guaranteed. No, like people thinking that Lucio's already gone when he's not.
No, yeah. There's no guarantee there's no guarantee that Chiesa leaves. There's no guarantee that Lucio leaves.
Yeah, that's again. So that's what I'm replying to.
Is certainly leaning towards leaving.
Yeah.
We all understand that. But there's not even a guarantee that Núñez leaves if the right offer doesn't cross the table.
Yeah. So I'm taking the fact.
Last time I looked, the only person that's left is Trent, right? No, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly. And it's just.
And guess what? We have a replacement in the door for Trent.
Yeah, so that's confirmed. Yeah. Official LFC website, guys. Not Twitter. Not. It's Bomba Banza, Bomba, whatever. But look, I'm thinking of what we have now. So you're taking away what potentially, like you said, Núñez. We've got enough up top for me to last another season. Lucha in the whole. So I would focus more on that centre back because let's be honest, we have to be honest. VVD, he's played, but he's getting older. He needs some rest next season. Benati, we don't know. Injury. Joey, he's my guy. Injury. And Konzo, we don't know. So we need that centre back. We really do need that centre back more. If I'm honest for now. So
who's your £50 million centre back? Or sorry,
Well,
80. You said 80,
I
actually,
mean,
didn't you?
you can go.
No, you said we've got
Jamie,
80
or
million
maybe
left to spend
80
in the bank, so
million.
you can go
I
get
put a little
anybody.
extra just in case people got like that way.
But
You could go
with
out
that
and
kind of money, you could
get
get
to the Brent
any
week.
central.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I probably say?
No, I was just saying, sorry, with 80 million, like the world is your oyster when it comes to central halves. So you can probably get any central half you want with 80 million.
Exactly.
So who's your choice? Now you got 80 million you can spend on central half. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Brent weight could be bought at that price.
you could get Braithwaite and Jarrell Hatto.
You get Hato at that price.
Both. Or again, if you want to go the big bucks, and again, Brian will, Brian will know where I'm going with
You
this.
get,
And I know he didn't have
yeah,
the
you
greatest of
get
games.
you
Bastoni, you know,
get Bastoni.
Pekka,
I know
yeah.
people have like ever since the final, people have really shied off of that shout. But yeah,
No, he's still good
One
enough.
game doesn't make a player.
Yeah,
no, I get it. I didn't say it.
I know that's what people. Yeah, I hear that.
Oh,
talk.
yeah, no, they haven't. Oh, so would you still buy Bastoni after that final?
Yeah, that's all I've been
The
hearing. I
only
mean,
player
like,
on the
'cause
pitch.
yeah, I know that you're a big Bastoni fan like myself, and every time now I get a part of any conversation, the first thing, oh, would you go for Bastoni now? And I'm like, yeah, I would. I think he's still a phenomenal player. It's one bad game. Yeah, you could go for quite a few names, but you could also for 80 million. You could also go out for. I mean, who knows? Maybe if you go to Atletico Madrid and you say, "Here's 80 million sterling," do you think they're turning that down?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they will more for Alvarez. Yeah,
That's basically 100 million euros.
80 mil in terms of pounds. Yeah, because they signed it for what, just over 70 with add-ons.
With add-ons,
yeah. The type of signing I'm thinking of now up front is not like a stellar signing, just someone who will do for now to help us score a few goals until someone else is available, because there really is a genuine dearth of quality strikers available. It's the same in a lot of positions, unfortunately, isn't it? It's just like, where are all these players? Where are they? I'm just hoping that
run in there. By the way, I'm listening to you, Lee. I just Dustin's name that he threw in there. I haven't heard that name be one of the names to be looked at. I don't know if Brentford lets him go now that they are reportedly letting Mbeumo go. That'd be a lot of their. They get a lot of money back, I guess, but still, that'd be a lot of money. It'd be a lot of offensive power taken from their team.
I'm hoping that they've got something in the pipeline, like someone that we haven't even thought of, but someone who can do the job for Arnie until maybe a better option becomes available. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of us like going out and buying a stellar name that we're all like, wow. I think it might have to be that way if we buy a forward.
I can tell you how much.
I'm not saying buying buy someone crap, someone who can do a job, but not a massive sign sort of thing, because the massive signings just aren't there to be made, are they?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because
they played. By the way, they paid. I'm sorry, Bernie. I'm going to say real quick. They paid 62.2 million pounds for Alvarez. 62.2 million pounds was paid. Now I don't know. Maybe there are add-ons in there that add up. I don't know if there's 18 million worth of add-ons in there in pounds, but they paid 62.2 million pounds for Alvarez. So if you offered them 80 million, that's a come up. Go ahead, Bernie. I didn't mean to step on.
Well, no, I was just thinking about what everybody was saying, and when you look at it, last season we're playing with the likes of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott and Núñez, who's not performing, and Diaz is doing really well in some regards, but not brilliant in all regards. And we won the league, and you're thinking, we're a great club. You start looking at buying, Wirtz, and all of a sudden everybody else isn't good enough because we're coming in with Frimpong, Wirtz, and hopefully Kirkers, and you think all of a sudden, with our other existing players, the team, the quality of the team is like sort of going through the roof a bit. You know, we've really elevated ourselves. I think Jota checked out. You know, he checked out last year, I think. You know, I don't see any passion or desire for the club that he used to have in Jota. In fact, I don't know whether, don't get me wrong, you know, he's scored some great goals for us, but I don't think Jota's ever been that sort of guy who wears the badge and kisses the badge and runs to the cop and, you know, I'm a Liverpool player through and through. He's more self-contained, Jota. So I don't think we're going to, you know, somebody said before in chat before, you know, will we get a revival? I think it was Armchair of Jota. I don't know whether we would, you know. So coming back to the question, do we need a striker or do, you know, need a centre half? Ultimately, we do need both, but and I'd really like a good striker in. But I do agree with some of the panelists. Like, you know, like if you take out, if Quansah goes, where there's a good chance he's going to go, and if Jerry G, I mean, we know he's probably on the cards. He's going to go, and he's getting a bit older. He's not as fit. So then you're stuck. Then, you know, but if you look at your options, we're so weak at the back because we've only got Virgil and Canate, and if one of them gets injured, what the hell are we going to do? You know, so I think I'd probably have to say that we'd have to go and get another defender in.
Very big question. Very big question. I see people dropping some names out there. Ryan Brewster would be, yeah, that'd be a stretch. Jonathan David is what Mark Simons is saying. I think, yes. Jonathan David is Napoli bound, apparently. That is true. Jota, Alexander says, Jota has had a horrible season. It's a massive risk having him as the striker again. Wow. Okay. Players can have comebacks. They can have bounce back seasons. Maybe a good he is going to be playing for Portugal. So
Playing tomorrow night against Germany, potentially, in the Nations League semi-final. I don't think he'll start, but he's there. He's in squad. He's ready to go. So you never know. He could be having a big week.
Here's something. Here you can see this. Me and Max agree on this one. I like Martinez, by the way. I like Martinez a lot. Good player. Very, very, very good player. Not everyone's cup of tea, but he is a good player in my eyes. Well, it's a big question, people. It's a very big question. Let's do some rapid fire. You guys ready for some rapid fire for a little around the pitch? From one corner flag to the next.
Have you ever heard of this Martinez guy? I've never heard of him. I don't know.
Right, I'm very never heard of, very allergic to him, Brian. I really have never seen the guy play. I mean, you, Brian? Yeah, new name. Yeah, new name.
You know, yeah. No to David. KJ needs to come back on, man. KJ, you haven't been on, man. You need to come in for some reason.
Yeah, KJ's been busy, man. He's been enjoying life, happy wife, happy life. That's what he's been enjoying these days. Exactly, I agree, bro. KJ, stop being a stranger.
Yeah.
It's funny response to that, to Dustin. Me trying to Haaland and Kane up front. That should have been magic. Should have been terror. Should have been the definitely the fearsome duo, but unfortunately it didn't work in Anfield Cup for me. All the same, let's do some around the pitch real quick. It's time to take a zoom out and look at the entire league real quick. The world of football never sleeps, neither do we, apparently. And we're going to be making, we're going to talk about some headlines outside of Anfield, maybe inside Anfield too, but more so outside Anfield. Bruno Fernandes has reportedly rejected a lucrative offer from Al Hilal. I was hoping we'd never see him, doing his antics again in at least against us, much less the Premier League. But it looks like he is going to remain a Red Devil. Do you? I asked real quick. I have five. One, two, three, four, 5 points. So I'll ask each one of the members of the panel here at least one question. Bruno Fernandes, is this a good deal for him, or is this a good move for him, or should he have taken the money and moved on? We all know, looking past the whole it's more about his family or more about his this and that. Like this, just from a perspective, would you've seen him making the move? I'll ask that to Lee. Bruno Fernandes, should he have taken the money and run, or is it a good deal, considering how Manchester United is right now? Lee, that one's for you, Lee. Oh, Lee's not with us. Maybe not. You're not on mute, so I'll go to Brian then for that answer.
Oh, I don't care. Why do I get the Bruno question?
Jeez.
I think he's looking for. Look, if he was one of ours, and he's clearly. I mean, Romano. I've seen him say it a few times now, without giving out numbers, but he's kind of been making it big. He's been saying like that. There's a wage offer on the table for Bruno Fernandes that even by Saudi standards is ridiculous. So God only knows what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Benzema's on 3 million a week, so God only knows what that means. He's just saying that this is an insane. I think that's the word he used, as an insane offer on the table for Bruno from Saudi. And if he was one of our guys and he's that much in demand, then he's clearly our best player, and we were in the absolute muck the way they are now, we'd be praising this guy for showing the loyalty to stick around and try and help us out, and so I can only commend him for that, really. I don't really care after that. I don't think it'll be enough to help them, but if we were in their scenario, and it's like if we had a Stevie G left and they were offering him 200 million a year and he's like, no, I'm going to stay and try and help Liverpool, I think that's kind of what he's doing. So I commend anybody that says no to the Saudi coin. I think that's a commendable thing to do in its own right. So if he just wants to play at a decent level, he should probably get out of Man United for a start. But going to Saudi is a bit drastic. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't. We dislike him for all the right reasons, but if he turns down Saudi money to try and help a club that's clearly in the shit, there's some things to admire in that, at least.
Okay. B is worth over 135 million euros. Wow. Max thinks it was a crime when we lose world-class players in the league. Salah, De Bruyne, Son, Fernandes, we will cry when they retire. Robots ain't going to win our love for football. Let's see. Bonkers. Oh, Bonkers is giving us an update. Florian Wirtz will earn less at Liverpool than he would have at Bayern Munich. His decision was purely a sporting one. Liverpool will make the most expensive signing in English history in this transfer. Okay. All right. Well, let me bring up this point. Speaking of United, I'll ask this of Nwante. United are targeting Brian Mbeumo. Obviously, he's not a bad player, but surely not the revolution they were looking to do. But I saw a lot of content creators with the announcement of Mbeumo's coming to, going to the team, and also Fernandez staying with the team. There were a lot of Red Devils taking this as like personal victory, almost. Is Mbeumo a needle mover for them? How does he fit into their team? Oh, yeah. That was for you.
I'm gonna do a Brian here say, why do I get hold of my United questions?
Right, Sean Connery.
You like that, Brian? Look, Mbeumo, I'm still not. I know he's saying he's famous, but I'm still not 100% convinced by the deal. I think it's just that because Man United have gone all in, but again, from what I'm reading, there's still a long way to go because he wants a very high raise upgrade. He's looking about 250k.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So, but I'm surprised, but I think the other clubs have got in it. But if he does go, I mean, it's a great signing for Man United. We just got to be honest. As much as I can't stand them, Toilet is a great signing. So, but I'll be very, very surprised. But yeah, I think there's still some hurdles to go. But yeah, what can you do? I mean, I know sometimes you get the old player that it happened with us, without not in the Champions League and stuff like that, and you get the one or two players that out of the ordinary, you think, why would they come? But they'll come just only because the history of the club. So, Well, be real, as much as I can't stand him, if you do get him, it's a good signing.
Wait, bottom line, you do see him, even if he was to join their club, is he a difference maker? It's interesting too, considering the players that they have out on loan that potentially could come back to the team. But do you see him?
Yeah, I mean, Sancho's gonna go. I mean, he's definitely not gonna stay because they've been desperate to get rid of him, and he's been in no man's land, which is funny. He won't be the difference maker, but he'll help. That's all.
All right.
They still got a way to go and lagging as a squad. So
okay. I have Lady B up next, and I would say Man City are looking set to bring in Tihane Reinders. That's how you pronounce his name?
Reinders.
Yeah, Reinders. Yeah.
From Milan. It's kind of interesting because they're bringing in another technical midfielder. They have some very good players already in that kind of fit that mold. Is this a difference maker for you? You think KJ says he's a baller? Okay. Is this a good deal? Is this a good signing?
That's for Lady Baba, by the way.
Lady
B.
Lady Baba.
Lady Baba.
Yeah, you asked me the question I didn't really want because I don't like City. I don't like talking about it.
No, I get that. All right.
Yeah,
the guys, the United, now you at the City. I get it.
I know. Would have rather talked about United, to be honest with you, only because I can't.
I'll remember that next time. But
I think City, when you look at it, they're going to have to spend a lot of money this year to, I think, get some better players, and it looks like they're going for them. I've read it today quite about a few players they're going for, and but I'm saying that what's going to happen on these charges, because they're not going to be able to spend fortunes again with that hanging over the head, are they? In case they fall foul of the rules again. I don't know.
They're spending a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money, but they're also getting some money back for some of these deals that they're getting for some of the players that they're letting go. They got a lot of money. Obviously, I talked about the 62.2 million. That was a good chunk of change for Alvarez to help them get their January acquisitions.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it,
in line.
It's going to be a big season, isn't it? Because, you know, they've got that thing hanging over their heads. They've got Pep in meltdown almost.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got De Bruyne gone. And then some aging players as well. So I think that it's going to be interesting what they do. But what was the question?
Do you think he makes a difference? Does he slot in? Does he make City? Does he answer City's problems that they had this year? Does he bring a real answer to the problems?
I don't think so. I think he's only a small cog in the wheel.
All right. KJ saying he's not as technical as Grav, more an 8 than a 6, but chips in with fair amount of goals. 2, although not renowned for being a goal-scoring midfielder. Maybe this brings some of Foden's mojo back. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Well, then, Lee, are you with us this time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give you Chelsea. All right. This is about Chelsea, and Chelsea has that they're going to take the $5 million penalty that was associated with the Jadon Sancho deal, and he will be out. His loan stint ends as of June 30th. What is the next move for Sancho's career? He could have a fresh start, by the way, with this new manager. This isn't Ten Hag. This is obviously a player that showed his worth at Chelsea, at least made a difference in his career with Chelsea. What does Sancho do?
If I were Jadon, I'd probably go back to Germany, because that's where he was ripping it up, wasn't it, for Dortmund before United bought him. This low move to Chelsea hasn't worked out. If I was the lad himself, I would probably go back to Germany. Would be a good move, but probably not Leverkusen though, because of Ten Hag's there, and he won't be going there. But do you know what I mean? I think that'd be the best thing for him, like probably, or another country even. I don't know. I really don't know. But he did flop quite badly, didn't he, at United, for the price?
Yeah,
so did many others.
He made a poor decision early. He should have taken the 150K offer and joined for Jurgen, rather than go to United for the 300,000 that he was on, and he might still have a viable. He might have a Premier League title. He might have some viable foundations in the league. But he didn't. He chose elsewise. I don't know. Is Brian, you trying to say he's going to go to City? Is that you say he might be a better replacement for them at City?
Who's that now? What?
Is that why
Sancho?
Yeah.
No, it's just people were talking about like what they need. It's sort of like that proper City team that had basically David Silva in it. Like they had Bernardo Silva, but David Silva was just one of the best players of all time. Aguero was one of the best players of all time. Yaya Toure. Yeah, Raheem Sterling. What you think about was a footballer?
Baller.
Oh, David Silva was just a joke, man.
Yeah, he was a baller.
Raheem Sterling doesn't really get the credit because the numbers that he put up at City were also incredible. They haven't replaced that yet. Yeah. Doku hasn't done it. Grealish hasn't done it. Foden hasn't quite done it. People say, they haven't replaced Fernandinho. They haven't replaced Mahrez. They haven't replaced Sterling, to me. That one guy to just sit in there and bang, bang, bang every second week, goal assist, goal assist, goal assist. He's been scratching around. Marmoush, Haaland, great goal scorers that put up big numbers. But Doku, Foden, Bernardo Silva, that's Rodri stepped into the Fernandinho role a bit. but they had some really, really top players. And Reinders, jeez, man, he's good, but you're talking about David Silva, you're talking about Yaya Toure. This is what, they're looking at, that level. Phil Foden, player of the season the year before last season, the man barely got a goal. I think he got like 2 goals. It's like Guardiola does things to players.
Yeah.
He can make him player of the season one year.
Going to this though, possibly play him in a pivot. Play him in.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying when you talk about the level, like Sharky, Ryan Sharky. This is what we're saying earlier on. The 2, 3, 4 years ago, we want Wirtz and we want Carquez, and our second choice is Sharky and Ait Nouri. We get Ait Nouri and Sharky. They get Carquez and Wirtz. Now we've switched it. This season, we're the ones getting Wirtz and Carquez, and they're having to settle for a Sharky and a Reinders and a Ait Nouri. Whereas back in the day, Wirtz goes to City. He doesn't go to Liverpool. That's the top player, not Reinders, not Sharky. It's Florian Wirtz.
Okay. Well, quick question. For the right price, would you take Sancho for this team?
No.
No? You can just do a yes or no answer. Lee, would you take Sancho?
No.
For the right price, that is too. That means him not going for 300,000. He's, more reasonable, 150 or whatever. Obviously not a big name, big price transfer. I know it's Man United. They're not going to give us any deal, but all the same.
No, I think he's maybe a busted flush in the Premier League and needs to go back to the Bundesliga to regain what he had before he came, and was ruined at Man United.
Nuante?
That's right.
Yes, no? Oh, sorry. Yes, no. Sancho.
Nice cool drink there.
It's ginger ale.
You can't go with the ginger ale,
Yeah.
Give me my pen. You know what? I'm gonna shock quite a people. I would,
Wasn't expecting that. Okay.
I would, yeah. I would. Call me crazy, call me deluded, but I would,
Crazy, deluded.
Oh, sometimes
better than
Bernie,
deluded.
Lady
It's better
B,
than
sometimes in life you gotta be.
Here we go.
I'm sure you've experienced that once or twice.
I can tell Bernie's answer is going to be a firm no.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. There is no's in the chat too. I saw Red Armchair Supporter said no. Alexander said nah. Is this a question? It's a question.
Armchair's head it just exploded, so you've done that.
Yeah. All right. Alexander never rated him. Red Armchair Support says the hype job. KJ, we were
Sancho.
just asking. Yes.
Okay.
Jaden.
Sancho
Would
Pancho.
you be if it was a cut? If it was like a cut rate deal in the sense of like he's going to adjust his salary. He's obviously going to go for a decent price. Nothing, no highway robbery.
Where are we playing him, by the way? We playing him on the left, on the right? Where are we playing him? Nolante, where are you playing him? Because you said you take him.
Yeah, you're the one.
I said I would. So you said you take him. So where are you playing him? On the left, on the
You
right?
can play. You just play him. You can play him on the left.
I'm saying where would he play in your team? Where would you play him to get the best out of him?
Yeah, you can play him on the left. You can play him on the right. Sometimes you could put Mo on the bench and he can start. Yeah, even left or right. Yeah, he could do a job. I don't see that. Possible. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying
Left
like
wing,
as a,
play false nine,
I just
play
wondering
10.
where.
Yeah, false nine. I wouldn't like him in the false nine if I'm honest. I wouldn't like that. But yeah, left, right, 10 were covered. So we wouldn't need him there. But yeah, either one, bro. To be
I
fair,
see, KJ, we're all doing the PSG thing now. Is that what we're doing? We saw it once, we liked it. Now that's what we're
Everybody
going to do.
doing
I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Everyone wants to be PSG now. Oh yeah,
nah, let's
everybody
not
wants
be
to be
PSG.
PSG.
Let's not do that.
That's not,
Let's not.
I'll be PSG in winning the Champions League, but that's about as
Yeah,
far.
like I said, the dream is to get that number 9, which people still think, and it gets on my nerves when they say Slot wants to play with a number 9. Slot wants to play with a false 9. I'm tired of that, man. Let's just get Isak, get the top striker, and we'll cook.
Okay.
We're Liverpool FC. We're not fluid front three. Copycats were the originators. Yeah.
The original gangster.
Yeah.
Milante, don't forget, K-Mac said we're getting Osimhen.
There you go.
Oh, don't get me
Yeah, we're
started,
still
man.
waiting.
Lady B.
We're
Let's
still
not go
waiting.
there. Flipping now.
Amen.
Flipping now. Graven Birch is going to leave this next month.
Brethren.
He's going to go to AC Milan. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Great.
Man City, we spoke on. Chelsea, we spoke on. United, we spoke on. So let's go out of the league. This one's for Brian, since he just don't want to hurt his feelings with his by asking him for a team he don't like to talk about. So I'll ask him about a team they possibly would like to talk about, and that is Inter Milan. So Inter Milan and Simone Inzaghi are parting ways. And guess where he's heading? That's right. He's getting that 50 million I talked about yesterday and going to Al Hilal. Another big fish in the Saudi pond, if you want to look at it that way. Is this maybe a time to look at what you can, if anyone on the Inter squad is maybe interested in joining the Premier League?
Well, you come to the end of a journey. A team like that, they've lost out on a title race, which they were very much expected to win dramatically. They got to a Champions League final, lost out there. Managers leave. They don't do legacy managers in England so much. I know he's been in Italy. It's not too big a deal for a manager to leave. But yeah, you've kind of got a team that was expected to or potentially achieve great things this season, and they achieved nothing. Fell short at both final hurdles, and their manager is gone. So when you look at a lot of the people leaving that squad, like we're talking Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, Arnautovic, Acerbi, Darmian, old players, even by anybody's standards, old footballers. So yeah, I think there could be a lot of change there. Even Denzel Dumfries is like 28, so Barella's getting on there. It could be a lot of players leaving those teams, but I don't think there's the Lautaros or the Bastones will be the ones that will go. I think it will be big changes there, but they'll want to hold on to those guys. I don't. To me, Lautaro is just you can tell he's just like, give me a 7-year deal and I'll sign it. He wants to be that guy. Inter works for him. He'll go back to maybe South America at some point, but Bastoni, I think, could probably maybe leave. But yeah, I just think it'll be more. A lot of players will leave Inter this year, but it'll be those guys that are all like, some of them are like 36, 30, 34. The Cherby's nearly 38.
You have your Thurams, Marcus Thuram. You have
Yeah,
your
he hasn't
Stoneys. You have your
been very
Barellas.
impressive. Thuram isn't very impressive.
Lautaro.
Yeah, that's not Lautaro doesn't. Lautaro just wants to stay there and be an Inter legend. You can just tell he does it. He'd rather stay there. He'll leave if he has to. They want to sell him. But like I said, he would sign a 10-year deal there tomorrow. He wants to be, because they just get him. He gets them. He is just Inter. I can see him go back to Argentina when he's 35 or something. But, he wants to spend his big years there. But never say never. I think he'd be brilliant. Obviously, he's one of my favorite players. He's not always great. I do overrate him a little bit. He goes missing in big games sometimes, went missing the other night, but I just don't think those are the guys that are going to leave. But there will be a mass exodus from there this season, yeah, because whoever comes in will not want like some of these like literally. There's guys there, and you're like, I thought he'd retired. You know, Simone Zaga, yeah, he's off the Al Hilal, 50 million quid. It saves him getting sacked because he would have gotten sacked because that was a shocking performance. He's been brilliant for them. He's been absolutely superb for them. He's been amazing for them. And they play great football, but you can't survive a defeat like that, I don't think. Not at Inter. That's a real humiliation. And so I think this is a nice little, a handy way out for him where they can frame it as he's decided to leave. And now he's going off because even if he wasn't, after that 5-0, you're out. You're done. That's going to be you finished. So it's worked out nicely. It's not too bloody. It gets to look like he's decided to walk away. But there, other than Lautaro and Bastoni, even Barella is a bit now too long in the tooth to come to England. I think there isn't a huge amount of players there. Really, that I'd be looking at. Thuram really doesn't impress me. Really does not impress me. He can do decent, but at times he looks so average, which is the worrying bit. Players can kind of look whatever, but at times he just looks so fucking average. And every now and again, everything he's trying to do will come off, and you can see why people rate him. But when it's not quite working out for him, he can look really, really just like a normal player.
Well, this is a big moment right here. I have a moment of zen at the end, but this is a big moment for Scousley.
Oh.
Today is a very, very, very,
don't do it, Lee.
very important day, a very memorable day. It's a birthday that we can all celebrate.
Yeah.
You there, Lee?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Part one
Just
done.
making sure. I'm about to pull back the curtain here.
I was
Today.
munching away on a few crisps.
Oh, okay. All right. Today is the birthday of our club. 132 years ago on this day, Liverpool Football Club was born. Our founder of the club officially changed the name from Everton Football Club and Athletic Grounds to the mighty Liverpool FC. Since that day, we've become England's most successful club. Let me repeat that. Since that day, we've become England's most successful club. 20 league titles, 6 European Cups, a legacy soaked in glory, and a fan base that never walks alone. So here's to another 132 years of domination, a little drama, and defiance, and as always, up the Reds. I am going to allow for you, Lee, to tell us what it means to see a club that had its origins in the way that they did, being a part of Everton and now being its own club of its own, and how it's long surpassed Everton's claim to the city, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance we'll be moving back to Goodison. I know, like, Everton left our ground to go to Goodison because it was a better ground, but we won't be doing the same thing, I don't think. But yeah, 1892. So what was it? How long is it, did you say, in all now? We've been going the club. What's the
132 years.
132, right? 132.
Yep.
Yeah, 1892, a year I remember well. Sorry, that was 1992, I meant.
There you go.
But yeah, it's a good one, that, isn't it? Yeah, birthday for the club. Excellent stuff.
The other thing that I was going to say is this is like I always like to leave on a moment of Zen. Let me make sure I get the presentation out for it. And it is worthy of saying. I know it's not a official, award by the Premier League. All the same, it is a important award. It's a inter-club award, I guess you call it. And that is Standard Chartered Player of the Season is none other than Mohamed Salah, our Egyptian king. We're going to end with this in saying Mohamed Salah, our Egyptian king, has won Liverpool Standard Chartered Men's Player of the Season for a record 5th time. That's 5 in 8 years. This season alone, 34 goals, 23 assists, 4 Player of the Month awards, 14 Man of the Match honors. No player in our history has ever dominated with this legacy, this level of consistency. Mo Salah, history maker, legend, and still our number 11. What would you have to say about the Egyptian king? I'll leave it to the panel, as this could be your opportunity to say, I guess, the final words, whatever you want to say about the Egyptian king. And I'll start with Malate. I'll get him off of mute and allow for him to say his words.
Mo Salah, running down the wing. La cha la la la. The Egyptian king. That's it.
That's it. Okay, cool. All right.
Sure.
Lee, or actually, sorry, we'll go in reverse order, actually. We'll go Brian, and then we'll go to Lady B, and then we'll go to Lee. So, Brian, any words you'd like to say about this Egyptian king of ours?
Nothing that hasn't. What more can be said? We're just repeating. You're just repeating the superlatives and the everything. Yeah. Lucky to have him. Lucky to have him. You'll miss him when he's gone.
Yeah. Bernie, is there anything you'd like to say to the Egyptian king's honor?
Yeah, I'd like to say that not only is he a fantastic footballer and loyal servant to the club, but also a great humanitarian. He gives back what he gets, both to his hometown, his city, to the city of Liverpool, to the club, to his colleagues and teammates at the club. He gives out to everybody. He's very humble, although with a huge ego, as we know, which is good for us because he wants to score goals. So I think he will go down as a Liverpool legend, and he deserves it.
Lee, last but not least.
Yeah, it's been a mental season for Mo, hasn't it? It's been well above average. It's just worked out great for him, hasn't it? Slot's arrival. He tinkered with the team a bit, didn't he? And got the best out of Mo, the best out of what we've got left of Mo. And it's been a great thing, hasn't it? Like, it's been one of the highlights of the season, how well he's done. He held that record. That's a shame he didn't break it. That dummyhead in that he couldn't break that record for the most goals and assists, but he did tie it. So let's have a round of applause.
There you go. Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a sensational season. Like, a bit of a shame for Chiesa that it meant he couldn't get on the pitch at all. But hey, that's life.
Okay. All right. JK's got in just before we're about to end. Some people asked about what was going to be given. This is George. This is a friend of the show, friend of a lot of us on the panel as well. He has a book. It's by the name of The Lost Shankly Boy. It's obviously by George Scott. And what we had as some people were asking what it was that we had as our prize. We have a autographed edition of this book for you, because George is a really great guy, really kind person, but also someone that had the opportunity to, obviously know one of our legends when it comes to actually coaches that have been a part of our club. And it's a very, very interesting tale of a young man and his rise through his rise and journey through playing for the club that he loves, and also playing for quite possibly one of the best managers of all time in Shankly. So that is what is our prize for Mark A, who is the winner of our fantasy football. Congratulations to Mark A, by the way.
Well done, man.
And yeah,
Well done, Mark.
Well done, Matt. Had a good season.
good season. Good season, but best believe we will be there'll be some people aiming for you next year for sure. Those of us
We
that
got Mark. Hey,
Yeah, Livers won and Livers too, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
I want to say something about George quickly. Yeah, George is such a top guy, man. I've had enough phone conversations with him. Just a genuine Liverpool fan, no show business, just straight to the point, no argumentative comments and stuff like that. Just a top geezer, man. If Mark's gonna get the book now, I've got a copy of the book already, top book, and if no one's got it, it's in the Amazon store as well. But he's a real top guy.
Yeah, he's a dead nice out fella, and George.
Yeah.
Really sound. And he was at the club at such an important time. So it's it's a really interesting thing, isn't it? His story. And it was good, to be on Frank's show with him on it, JK. You could say to him, what you reckon Shankly would have made of this or that, what I mean, about modern football, and he'd tell you.
Yeah, me and Lee did enough shows, we did enough shows on Frank's channel with the Anfield speaker who's retired now, George, me, Lee, proper Liverpool fans, he's a proper Liverpool fan, bro. I've never really heard him badmouth a player or anything in that way, I think nowadays if you don't badmouth a player, they think you're a fanboy and stuff like that. For me, it's the tradition of Liverpool Football Club. It's that's why we support them, because we're not like other clubs. Yeah, we might not find a player great, but there's a time and place to talk about it. You know what I mean, bro? So that's why I like George. He's a genuine, old school Liverpool type of fan. He knows what it's all about.
Well, we are going to definitely, Mark A, get me the information. We're going to coordinate that. JK and I are going to coordinate that so we can get you the copy, your autographed copy of the book. And we are going to be back tomorrow. We look forward to each and every one of you to join us. I'd like to give a thanks and shout out to the panel. Brian might be doing something with his computer or something like that. But thank you to Lee. Thank you to Lady B. Thank you to Levante. Thank you for JK showing up late, but it's all good. Better late than never.
Better late than never, bro.
Right. I am about to go and do a little guest appearance on Ozzy's channel. So if you want to keep the party going, definitely join us over there. JK could probably put his if he could put his URL in the chat for us. That'd be great. But other than that, people, it's been a great show. Definitely the reason why it was great is because we have an awesome panel and because we have absolutely legends in the chat for sure. So definitely take care. Big up to each and every one of you. JK just put the live link there. But until tomorrow, definitely big up to each and every one of you. Up the Reds, and be sure to take care of yourselves. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.